Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel for another first look. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the Joker 6-scale collectible figure from Hot Toys and from the Dark Knight Trilogy line. Hot Toys went and announced this figure this morning. Right when I woke up, I saw it and I was so happy. I was extremely happy to be getting this. I've been asking for a re-release or a 3.0 or 4.0 of the Joker for a long time because I missed out back in the day when they made the DX11, but I was also young and wasn't in the hobby then. So this looks incredible, guys, this figure. As you can see, it looks like Heath Ledger all the way. I have no complaints with the sculpted version. A lot of people have been having issues with the rooted hair version, and I see why. The hairline is really off. The shading is off. It kind of looks like seaweed. More so than other figures, other portrayals of the Heath Ledger's Joker. Like InArts was better as far as the rooted hair goes. I think Hot Toys has a better sculpted hair version of the Joker here than InArts, in my opinion, at least from what I've seen. I don't own the InArt version. I don't have any version of this Joker in my collection, so I'm definitely going to be picking up the sculpted hair version of this Joker here that we're taking a look at. So I'm so excited, guys. So let's jump right into the video. So here in this next picture, we have Joker with his playing cards. He's sticking his tongue out because he, throughout the movie, he licked his lips all the time. I'm not entirely sure why, but that was one of his trademarks that he did in the movie. So Hot Toys went ahead and made a second head sculpt with the tongue sticking out, which doesn't look great. It doesn't look bad. Like, I'm happy they're trying something new. I'm very happy they're trying something new, but it looks a little off to me. It might be because the tongue is too far forward and not to the side. I feel like if it was towards the side more, it would look a little better, but it kind of just looked like he's sticking his tongue out and just goofing off. It doesn't really look like he's licking his lips. So I think, as far as that, it was a miss from Hot Toys, but I'm very happy they're trying something new, so I'm not gonna yell at Hot Toys or anything. I would never do that. It's all respectful. All my disagreements, but I'm very happy they gave us a regular not smiling, but just a regular head sculpt of this. That way I didn't have to use the one with the tongue sticking out, because it doesn't look that great. It doesn't look like something I would display, because I'm only gonna have one of these in my collection to portray Heath Ledger's Joker. So I want it to be as movie accurate as possible, and even if the tongue head sculpt was accurate, it's not Heath to me. When I think of the Joker in the movie, I don't think of him with his tongue out. I think of him grinning or smiling or, just having that blank look to him. Nothing with his tongue at all. So I'll definitely be using that regular head sculpt with him, and we'll take a closer look at that one when a picture comes up later on here. In this next picture, we have the two head sculpts with the separate eyeball rolling system and two styles of expressions. So on the left is the sculpt with the tongue sticking out. It doesn't look terrible. It really doesn't look terrible. I think you could actually make it work in a lot of instances, but I prefer the sculpt on the right just because that looks more like Heath to me. Again, that looks like a definitive Heath Ledger Joker to me. He was more menacing in the film than sticking his tongue out, being all goofy. So, and I don't think they were trying to go for goofy here either with the tongue. It doesn't feel right with me. It doesn't go well for my collection. I think it's an awesome sculpt, and I'm happy that they, chose to do something different. But again, I'm going to be portraying mine with the sculpt on the right just because it looks more like the definitive Joker from the film. And it looks good. I love the teeth on the inside. I think they look great. His scarring on the face looks great. His face looks so high definition. You can see all the wrinkles and the scars, and the makeup is done well. You can see, his skin in certain areas, and on his hairline, you can see that brown area, which is how his sculpt really looks. It was by his hairline, it was the brown color, and then it went to the green. So they captured that well here. The rooted version doesn't have that brown, or it has less of the brown around that hairline. So I think the sculpted version is definitely a better definitive Joker than the rooted version. I would not go with the rooted version. If you do, I'm sure you could tweak it a little bit to make it look good, but rooted hair just in general isn't really that great, especially with Hot Toys. They have proved time and time again that they cannot make rooted hair. And Anakin was just announced, the rooted hair Anakin. I hope he turns out as good as the promo pics look, but I don't think it's gonna come out as good as those prototype images. I really don't. I mean, it showed him during Sideshow Con. They showed him at their event, and his hair looked poofy as can be. It didn't look nothing like the prototype images, so I don't know what's going on. Hopefully when everybody gets that Anakin in hand, it's, different, because if that's what's going to happen, then I'm going to assume that the Joker is going to have the same turnout, So I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to get the sculpted version. Plus, I like sculpted hair better, just because I don't really want to do a lot of maintenance on my figure. I don't want to have to comb his hair like a freaking Barbie doll. And I think the sculpted hair just looks better, especially on this version of the Heath Ledger Joker. I think Hot Toys did a better sculpted than the rooted in the first place. It just brings out the head sculpt more, I think. It looks good. I have no complaints with this at all. Here in this picture, we have Joker, kind of acting all jumpy. He has his knife there in his right hand, pointing with his left hand, and that head sculpt looks incredible, guys. It looks just like Heath. I think they cracked the head sculpt. I think they definitely did a good job with this. Is it better than in-art sculpt? That's the big question, and I don't know. I want to say it is, but again, I didn't own the in-art figure. I know the in-art head sculpt was a little too big for the body. I know that was an issue that a lot of people said. The in-arts had a problem with the magnets and the magnetic base as well, so I also know that was an issue. I'm not sure if this one, I know the pegs for the hands aren't magnetized. It's going to be the normal peg system that Hot Toys has. But I noticed something with the base he comes with. It doesn't come with any flight pole. There's, any poles whatsoever to keep him standing. So I'm wondering if they included a magnetic base with this. But I feel like they would tell us if they did, because I feel like they would want to brag about that. So a part of me is like, no, it's just a regular base. And I've heard these Jokers are hard to stand, and they keep standing without, support. So that's going to be interesting. I guess we'll have to see when the figure gets here. But this figure looks awesome, guys. It looks incredible. In this next picture, we're going to take a look at the Joker's, shirt. It's going to be below his normal purple coat and the other silver coat that comes with him. But as we can see here, he comes with that meticulous pattern, the matching. That tie is going to be, accurate to the movie. You got the wired collar. The collar is going to be wired. That's actually really cool. So you'll be able to bend the collar to the degree that you would like. That's really cool. I don't think the in-art one had that. They have the newly made metal clips. Not sure what that's going to do for the figure, but that's cool. I mean, You know, I'm never gonna be mad with updates and upgrades on figures. We have the movie accurate form fitting cutting with the jacket, so it's gonna look better. You're gonna be able to move it better. And I also know that the purple coat is posable. It does have a wire down the collar and the bottom and sides of that coat, so you will be able to pose the coat too, which is really cool. And obviously we have the hand stitching and the hole buttons on his vest there, and then the fine details on his tie as well, obviously, which I talked about previously. So that looks good to me. I think, you know, his pants look purple, though the chain looks a little gold. I'm not sure how tinted his chain was in the movie, if it was like that darker gold color or if it was more lighter. This one looks a little darker. It looks good. I like it a lot. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just noticing the different, you know, shade of gold that you know, the chain is, which is, you know, understandable. And it looks good, so can't complain there. Here we have Joker and his purple coat. So the purple coat has the fine, soft, velvety fabric. I don't know how that's going to be, because I know the DX11 was that velvety material. I'm going to hope and pray that this is better. But over time, I don't know. I could see what happened with the DX11 happening with this. I don't want that to happen. Time will tell. Time will tell. I think it's better tailored. I think the coat looks a lot slimmer. So I do think they did a good job there. And I know InArt did a better coat than the Hot Toys one previously. So the InArt, you know, the InArt's coat could be better than this. But there's things that come with this that I think are just better and safer to go with. Especially if you missed out on the InArt version like I did. I missed out on it, unfortunately. But I'm glad I did, because then, you know, I wouldn't be getting this one. And this looks awesome. I'm excited for this. I'm very excited. So again, the coat has the form-fitting tailor for all the layers of the clothing. It's going to look really nice and sharp. So I'm excited for that. And that's going to look awesome. It's got the precise cutting drapes naturally on the shoulders, so it's going to drape nicer. It's going to look better on the shoulder area. The wired coat, so it's got wires and it's going to be posable. And it also comes with the lining with the where he puts his grenades and stuff like that for that scene, the pencil trick scene right after that. So that's cool. You can have him posed with the grenades if you would like. And then it's got natural and realistic weathering effects, so there's probably a little bit of weathering on the coat. I can see a little bit of brown here and there. I don't know if that's just lighting or what, but we'll find out when the figure actually gets here in hand. But it looks good. And here we have Joker with his suit jacket. So, again, highly accurate recreation of the jacket fabric. That nice silvery color. This is his bank robber look, kind of, without the vest looking on there, because I think he wasn't showing that, his vest, when he was doing the bank robber scene, and he was wearing his mask, so that, you know, that's also an issue with that. But the collar's great. It's gonna rest pretty well on the chest there. It's got superior lining aesthetics, it says. So again, they're just trying to promote the tailoring on the figure, making it look like it's this new thing. Hopefully it is. Hopefully they're not, you know, telling us lies just to say, hey, it's a new Joker. Because it's been a while since the last release. It's been a good few years. I think it's been around 10 years. I could be wrong completely, but it's been a long time since the DX11, so this looks good, guys. I like this. This looks awesome. Here we have Joker on that bass, that rock bass. It's you know, supposed to represent the street when he's shooting the people in the cars, the hit me scene, when Batman's charging at him on his Batpod. It's kind of supposed to recreate that, at least to my knowledge. But they also included a red bat symbol on there, which is cool, but at the same time, it's like, why? Why red? First off, probably because it goes well with the color of the base, but still, it doesn't scream Joker to me. So I may flip the base over, because you can use both sides of the base, which is awesome. And that's just a street by itself, so I might end up using that side. But this looks cool too. He's holding his knife that he uses in the movie all the time. I want my Joker posed with that as well, so that's awesome. And the Joker card. I think my Joker will look a lot like this on the shelf, posed with his card and then the knife. I'll either switch the knife out with his Glock, because I like his Glock. He uses that a lot in the film. So it's, I'll go back and forth between those two weapons probably in that hand. But this suit looks great, guys. Here we have the hit me scene, literally, with that submachine gun we have there. That looks awesome. I like the collar, how it's bent and posed. Kind of showing you off the wiring in the coat. That's awesome. It looks good, guys. The head sculpt looks on point. It looks really, it shows a lot of detail. It looks good. It looks really good. In this next picture, we have Joker with his knife in his hand, kind of pointing at the same time. Just giving another look at the head sculpt as well. He's kind of looking to the right a little bit. It looks great. His shoes look good. He's going to come with that sock pattern in his socks. So that's going to be accurate as well. The gloves look a little bit too... almost like a navy color. In the movie, his gloves are a light purple, whereas I feel like in these, they're more of like a blue. They're a little too dark. Again, it doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look bad at all. It looks really good. It's just not necessarily accurate to the movie. But again, it could also be lighting a little bit. Lighting always affects these pictures. But I do think they're a little too dark than the actual gloves he had in the movie, which were a light purple. But either way, it looks good. It looks like a great figure. I'm excited to get it in hand. I've never had a Joker in my collection, and I've always wanted one. I already have the Dark Knight line pre-ordered, so it's time to add this bad boy to my pre-order list. My wallet's going to be crying within this next year with all these pre-orders. But, it's the Dark Knight line. It's the line I'll always go crazy over. It's the only line I'll go crazy over. Normally I don't buy every figure in a line, unless it's like the Guardians of the Galaxy, when it's, the entire team. But with the Dark Knight trilogy, if a figure gets released from it, I'm probably going to be getting it. There's just no questions about it. I want every figure from that line, because it's my favorite movies of all time, and I connected with almost every character in the movies. I really want a James Gordon from that. If they give us an updated one, I will be so happy. If they give us another John Blake, I'll be so happy. If they give us a Lucius Fox, I will be ecstatic, because I love Lucius. If they give us another Alfred, I'll be so happy. If not, I'll just have to grab that Daft Toys one eventually here. But this Joker looks amazing, guys. I'm very, very happy Hot Toys decided to announce this today. Because I was contemplating on buying the in-art, but since, Hot Toys is making theirs, I'm going to grab this one. That in-art one's over $600 on the aftermarket, and it's got its issues, guys. It's got its issues. But this sculpted version of Hot Toys here, it looks great. It looks incredible. You can't really go wrong with either release. If you got the in-art, good for you, man. I didn't, so I'm going to be picking up this one, because it's, in my opinion, it's just as good, if not better in certain areas. And obviously this also has its weaknesses compared to in-art, but I prefer the head sculpt on this one over the in-arts. And I also prefer a few other things. I think the magnetic hands are cool. But at the same time, over time, with those die-cast pieces on the inner one, it's going to wear those down. And, you know, you may not be able to put the hands on the body anymore because they're so worn down. So having this with the normal peg system, I mean, the pegs are, you know, pegs. But at the end of the day, they do the job. And they do it sort of well. So I'm not going to complain too much about it. You know, if you break a peg, you break a peg. You're going to have to, you can grab another one. And I'm sure he'll come with a few pegs as well, a few extras. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Here we have Joker in a darker background with his knife in his right hand. He's just kind of, you know, standing there menacingly. He looks great. You know, it's the same thing. It's that long purple coat. You know, I've just now noticed there might be some weathering towards the bottom of the coat. I'm seeing some weathering there. So that's cool. There is some weathering down at the bottom there. So that's awesome. It's got the orange velvety color in the inside of the coat as well. So that's going to be accurate as well to the movie. The pants are good. The tailoring looks amazing on the figure. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. It looks great. It's updated. It's very more modernized now compared to the DX11, which looks like a baggy pile of mess. This one looks great. I wonder how these figures will look 10 years from now, though. I always think about that, because look at the DX11. I'm sure back then it looked great to people, and, you know, now look at it. It looks like a pile of mess. You know, will this look like a pile of mess 10 years from now? I mean, that's... Yeah, I mean, I kind of hope not. I hope this figure stands the test of time. Because, you know, I'm not one that wants to really upgrade my figures all that much. But at the same time, it's the Dark Knight line. So if they make another Joker 10 years from now, I'm probably going to buy it anyway. So, it's a great figure, guys. This is awesome. Here we have a closer look at the tongued head sculpt with Joker sticking out his tongue like a maniac. And you get to see a little bit more of that knife, that golden knife there. Looks awesome. He's pointing his finger as well. Again, that menacing head sculpt it looks like Heath. It looks accurate. Just something about the tongue. I don't know. Like I said, it's just not for me. It's cool. I'm very happy they included it and decided to try something new. But I think I'd rather have mine portrayed as the other way, with him having that more opened mouth with the teeth showing. I think that's just more menacing, and it looks more menacing, and, you know, like the definitive Heath Ledger. So that's what I'll be going with. But this still looks great. I'm sure there'll be many people, you know, getting it to look great on the shelf. I'm sure people are going to pull it off in a certain way. But for me, I don't know. We'll have to see when it finally gets in hand, but I'm not too sure. But it looks great. I think the eyes look awesome. It looks like Heath. So I love the scarring on the face towards the mouth area. The scars look great. If the figure comes out just as good as these prototype pics, I'm going to be so happy. It's going to be incredible. Here in this picture, we have Heath walking with the coat, you know, wired and posed as he's walking. It looks great. That head sculpt again, it looks incredible. It looks just like Heath Ledger. The figure looks so slim. The tailoring is incredible. Hot Toys has come a long way since the last release. They've come a long way, and I've been waiting for this announcement forever. When InArt came out, I was like, okay, Hot Toys, I'm waiting for you to announce yours so I can, you know, determine if I should get the InArt one or yours. And they just never announced him. Months later, months later, they finally release him here, or announce him, and, you know, I decided not to grab the InArt. I wanted it, but I missed out. I had other priorities, you know, financial burdens, so I didn't really, you know, it's not a priority. These are figures. At the end of the day, you gotta pay your bills first, so, you know, I wasn't able to pick them up, but I'm happy I waited, because here Hot Toys gives us another banger. You know, the symbiote Spider-Man from Spider-Man 2 video game got released today too with this figure. There was just two bangers released in like a day, 2 days at the max. We just got the Anakin released. That's gonna be worth a crap ton of money on the aftermarket. I'm gonna laugh my head off when I see those prices for that thing. I personally am not going to pick that one up just because I want the sculpted hair. If they come out with a sculpted version of that, I'm obviously going to pick that up. Because I need an Anakin from the prequels, from Revenge of the Sith specifically. But again, I'm not going to go with that rooted option. Rooted hair, it's too much maintenance for me. I kind of would want to just have the most accurate as possible with the least amount of work needed. So I want to put him on the shelf and just have him look menacing just to begin with, without, combing him like a Barbie doll. Just because that's a little weird to me, but, you can never go wrong with sculpted. I mean, rooted hair, when it's done right, it looks incredible, but again, rooted hair over time, it deteriorates, it moves, it gets puffy. It's not always going to stay the same like sculpted hair. So that's the only reason why I'm, skeptical about these things. Sculpted hair just never disappoints. It never disappoints. And this figure pulls it off greatly. So yeah, guys, this figure's insane. Here's another picture of Joker with his playing cards out in the street there, the hit me scene. He's holding his hand out. He just looks great. The lighting on this makes him look a little weird, but overall, it's still Heath Ledger, it's still Joker, it still looks great. It just, the lighting. He looks great, guys. So, here we have Joker and everything he's going to come with. It's going to come with the two head sculpts, the one with the tongue and the one with him, having his mouth open a little bit with the teeth. They're both going to come with the purse system. He's going to come with the new tailoring, the new updated body that specifically fits him. He's going to come with the submachine gun, the grenades that go in his coat. He's going to come with the knife that goes at the bottom of his shoe there. He's going to come with a butterfly knife, which I'm surprised they included that. I didn't see any pictures with him using that, so maybe I missed it, or maybe they just didn't include it, but that's a cool, option. He's going to include more grenades, knives. He's going to include his Glock, his shotgun there, that submachine gun, the golden knife. He's knives galore, guys. He loves his knives. And then he's also going to come with that awesome diorama display base. It looks great. I like it. It's really cool. It's also slim. It's going to be nice. We have a picture of Joker on that base right there. That looks incredible, guys. I think they did well with this figure. They did a great job so far, and hopefully the final product will look just as good, if not better. I'm very excited to get this. He comes with his, slew of hands, and then his Joker cards, and a few piles of cash there as well. So guys, overall, this is a great release. I'm so happy they decided to announce it. I've been waiting forever for this. He's definitely coming home. And you can bet that I'll be doing a ton of videos on this guy when he comes out, because the Dark Knight Trilogy is my favorite movies of all time, so most of my channel will be surrounded and centered around the Dark Knight Trilogy, and I will mention the Dark Knight Trilogy throughout all my videos. I'm sorry this video was a little bit on the longer side, cutting close to 30 minutes long. But man, guys, I just wanted to dissect this figure because it looks incredible. It deserves the spotlight here. I think InArt kind of blew everyone's minds, and so Hot Toys was a little late to the party, so no one really cares about this figure now. But man, they should, because this is a great option for people that missed out on the InArt version. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Please smash that like button, comment, and subscribe, because that helps the channel grow. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you guys in the next video.